Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be reviewing the new Sunday Riley Good Genes with Glycolic Acid. I'll be giving you my personal review. I've been testing it out recently, and then I will tell you a little bit about what's in it, the skin types I think that it will suit and the skin types that I think that it might not suit, and then I'll compare it to some other products that are quite similar and also different that are also on the market. So some of you in the US might be thinking new Good Genes formula. That doesn't make any sense. Basically, the original formula with Good Genes with lactic acid is still available in the US. However, in the EU, it had to be pulled because it didn't fit in with the guidelines that we have here. There's different rules in the EU than there are in the US. For instance, there are many products that, there are many ingredients that you can use in cosmetics in the US that are banned in the EU, but in this case it applied to the strength of lactic acid that was used in the original formula was too strong to be used here. So Sunday Riley, they quickly reworked the formula so that they could have something new, and they decided to switch the main strength of lactic acid and put in glycolic acid and then a much lower level of lactic acid. I have to apologize for the lighting in this video. It's sunny and cloudy outside and it keeps changing. It keeps going really, really bright and really, really dark. So I apologize for the strange lighting. But back to the formula. I was basically quite excited when I heard that it was changing to glycolic. I did a review, it must be last year now, on the Alpha H Liquid Gold, which I'll link up above. And in that video, I spoke about my relationship with using acids and how I found it kind of difficult. But I'd always avoided glycolic because I'd heard that it can be a little bit too strong and it's better to use a softer acid. So I tended to use lactic acid and also a little bit of salicylic acid, but with continued use, it just didn't really agree with my skin. So I fell in love with glycolic acid last year. It just works very, very well for me. I know that different people prefer and need different acids for their skin. Glycolic just works really well for me. So I loved the original Good Genes formula, but when I heard that it was changing, I was like super happy about it and keen to try it. And so I have been. Really like the new formula, and this is like a really nice creamy, silky smooth cream for the skin. I really like the consistency of the different cream and serum products from Sunday Riley. I think that they're always very smooth and glide across the skin quite nicely, which is strange because when I looked at the ingredients list on this, the second ingredient after water is silicone. They've got a really high content of dimethicone in this. So I don't usually like silicone products that much, so I was surprised that I love the texture of this, but it is really smooth, and it's also quite good because a little goes a long way. So I would say that half a pump spreads out quite thinly across the face. You get a good amount of spreadability with it, and then a whole pump would definitely do your face and your neck. So when I compare it to the CEO Vitamin C Serum, which I also reviewed a while ago, I'll link that up above as well, I needed a pump of that just for my face. So little bit goes a lot further with this one, which I really like. It retails at about £85 in the UK, which is a lot, but Sunday Riley is a luxury skincare brand, and anyone that's used to the products knows that that's how much they cost. But the reason why I like Sunday Riley, and I've used many products over the years, I started with Luna, which was the first retinoid product I ever used, retinol, anything like that, and loved it. And I've tried the cleanser, the ceramic slip when it was the original formula, and some of the oils, and I've just always been really happy with the products and the potency of them. So yes, they're expensive, but I think that they're worth it, and I love the packaging and everything that comes with it. So I'm definitely a fan of the brand, and this, I really, really like it. It leaves my skin feeling nice and clear the day after I use it. I find that it's strong, but it's not harsh at all. I had a feeling it was going to be super strong, but it's not at all. It's perfectly reasonable, and I feel like it's nice and hydrating. And because I usually use a lot of products from The Ordinary, where it's like the single kind of, where it focuses on the single ingredients, I'm used to having to cocktail them all together to kind of create a whole serum with the various different kind of benefits in it. With something like this, I don't really want to have to cocktail, and I don't. So I just apply this in the evenings, and I just put a little bit of eye cream on first, and then I apply this to my face, and then I just leave it at that. Sometimes I would normally have to go over with a little bit of moisturizer with this type of product, but with this I found that it's just enough on its own to keep my skin perfectly hydrated. It exfoliates it in the way that I love a glycolic acid. That's the way it exfoliates, and it basically, the difference is that it doesn't keep working on the surface of the skin. I feel like, and that's where I go wrong with acids. It kind of just gently exfoliates from the inside out, and I don't end up with like really dry skin where my fine lines look more apparent and stuff like that. So it kind of does offer the things that I love about glycolic acid. It's not too strong, it's nice and silky, it's nice and hydrating, and I'm really, really happy with the formula. There are some things that I think that people won't like about it. I already said that it's got the silicone in. A lot of people don't like silicone, so if you are against having silicones in your formula, they just don't agree with you, or you don't like them, then this definitely isn't an option for you. But then you've got something like the Drunk Elephant glycolic acid. I haven't used that personally, but I've heard great things, and that doesn't use any drying alcohols, and it doesn't use any silicone either, but I'm not sure how that compares to this because I haven't used that myself. I don't necessarily think that this would be the best product for oily skin. I think that it's better for normal to dehydrated skin because it is nice and hydrating and rich on my skin, and it might be a little bit too heavy for oilier skin types. If I'm comparing it to the Alpha H Liquid Gold, which I also really like, that is a liquid formula that you would apply to a cotton pad and then just wipe over your face like a toner. I love that. The only thing with that is that it's got a drying alcohol in, it's got alcohol denate. And if I'd known that before I tried the Liquid Gold, I probably wouldn't have used it, because I generally just think that that's a bit of a lousy ingredient to use in formulations these days. But I was curious because I feel like Alpha H is a really good brand and I trust them. So I did reach out and say, like, how comes you've got a drying alcohol in the formula when a lot of experts say that it's just not good for the skin? And they got back to me and they were really nice about it, and they said that if you go to a clinic and have a peel, they always wipe over your skin with alcohol beforehand, and it just clears the pathway for the water-based glycolic acid formula that they use to penetrate evenly into the skin without anything that's like blocking its path. And that made absolute sense to me. And that formula definitely does not dry out my skin at all. I thought that alcohol would have dried out my skin, but it doesn't dry out my skin. But I think that with the other things that they put in there, it just works really well, and I love the results of that. So it's like a toss-up between using that one with the alcohol in, this one with the silicone in. I don't really mind. I think that they both offer great results. Alpha H is more affordable. I think that's around 30 something pounds. I'm not exactly sure, but I'll link that down below. This is more expensive, but it's a really nice, I think it's a really nice winter glycolic acid to use. I need like richer products at this time of year, and I think that this is a really good one. I love it. I'm going to continue using it. I've only been using it at night up until now, but I will definitely maybe give it a go in the day, and then that saves me up a little bit more space for using retinol in the evenings. And one thing before I forget, I think that this might be coming to the US. I know that this has been quite well received in the UK. A lot of people really like it. So I think that they might be having both in the US. Obviously we can't have the original formula here, but I think in the US you might be getting the original with lactic acid and then this one too, but I'm not 100% sure yet. If you've already tried it, or if you've got any questions, then let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. It's lovely to see my views going up as the channel's kind of continuing to grow. So thank you for everyone that watches the videos. And if you're not subscribed already, please do. And I would also love it if you hit the bell notification, because my channel is still quite new and quite small. If you hit the bell notification, then you will always be notified when I upload a new video. And there's tons of skincare reviews coming up this year. Thanks so much and have a great day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.